Hi, and welcome to my jungle in a glass box. I haven't done orchids update for a while because I was busy buying orchids. And so I thought maybe now it's a good time to do some update on how they're doing. So I'll start with Orchid Tank and with the bottom part of it, because there is a main feature of this update, my Phalaenopsis Ballina, which bloomed. This is my favorite Phalaenopsis species, and this plant is really old. I have it for a few years and it blooms every year, no matter its conditions. It went through some bad times, like it had all the roots rotted and the leaf was rotting at some point, but nonetheless it bloomed every year, and it's blooming now. It has a lovely shape. I like it. And of course the smell is just awesome. Tank filled with the smell of Fruit Loops. So that's my Ballina, blooming as always. And beside her, you see my Ludicea. It's Ludicea cross, actually, with something that I forgot the name of. Nectocylus or something like that. And notice that each branch started new leaf. So it means that it's alive and growing, which is good sign because I did kill previous Ludicea that I had. It was a species Ludicea. So this hybrid is doing well, adjusting well. I think it likes being in a darkish corner. Now moving forward, there is my Bulbophyllum Micranthum, which I took off the mound and put it into this basket, and I think it's doing good. It's growing new roots and there's a new bulb coming. There are two pieces, actually two small pieces that I broke into unintentionally, and it's doing well. Now in front of Ballina there are my Albis Bear Queen, which already featured in a bloom, and on the right is a Speciosa Pink, which never bloomed for me. I got it as a very small seedling. I'm waiting to see what it actually means, Speciosa Pink, because Speciosa is the like tetraspis with a random red petal, white or red. So pink, probably instead of red will be pink or something. So I would like to see it bloom, but it didn't yet. Although it looks okay. It's healthy, it has roots and growing. Here beside is my Bulbophyllum ambrosia that I got from Rescatzel. It's growing well, growing new bulbs. There are plenty of fruits. It likes to be mounted, I think, and it is warm growing species, so it's doing well in a tank. I didn't see it blooming yet. Now this is Restrepia striata cloud's big bug, which really does look like a bug, the flowers. And it's been in bloom for a couple years now, I think. They're just blooming and blooming and blooming. All these little wires, they're actually flower spikes. I should probably cut them off so it's not as messy, but there are always blooms on this plant. It's a very nice plant. If you have like a space with a humidity and want something that will be constantly in bloom, that's a very nice plant for that. In low humidity, I think the leaves come out pleated a little bit, but in humid conditions, it's doing very well. Now beside there is Hoya, and please, I have lots of Hoyas in this tank, but please ignore them for now because I'm gonna make a separate update on all the Hoyas that I have I have few holes here, but I don't want to mix them up with orchids right now. I'm moving forward, or moving to the right of that Tristrapia. We see two Masdevallias that are not looking very good. Ever since my tank became warm, Masdevallias are not liking it. So there are only two left. I'm not sure what I should do with them. So that they're not dead yet, but they're not looking good. On the left here is Dendrobium jenkinsii that I got from Rescatzel, and it grew me this new bulb. It's doing good. It looks healthy, it grew lots of fruits, and one new bulb. I think Dendrobiums are doing good in the tank right now. Of course, for the winter, they will go out of the tank to get cold and dry conditions for blooming. But for now, here, they're doing good. And here's another Dendrobium. These are two cakeys from Finlayanum that I removed. I had Finlayanum on the top shelf, and these two cakeys grew too tall and started to get too close to the lights. So I removed them, and with my experience with Scabrilingue, when I rotted the roots from the base, I see when potting, I put the base way above the moss. So I hope this will keep them from rotting. And one of the cakeys started yet another keiki, another bulb. So hopefully this will become a nice plant in the future. It's growing. See, the new leaf coming out. That's Dendrobium Finlayanum from the cakeys. Now moving forward is a big Dendrobium, nobile type Dendrobium that I got from Lucy the cat. And it's growing well, it's filling up the bulbs become very fat. Now these two leaves, I'm not sure what it is, but the new leaves are clean. So I don't worry about those ones. See, the new ones are clean. And it has plenty of roots. I put my Dendrobiums into coconut husk chips in a clay pot, and the roots seem to like it. There's a lot of roots on this plant. The bulbs are growing nice and fat. So it's nice. I like how shiny the leaves are. The new leaves. It's looking very nice. I didn't straighten it up, so it's growing into weird directions, but that's okay. It looks wild. I like it. And the next after that is my Aranthus ramosa, which is really annoying little plant. See, it's growing this spike, this little wire that looks very fragile, and I'm always afraid to break it. And I'm wondering when will it stop growing and start to produce a bud, because at the end of this little wire there should be a bud at some point, which is not happening still. So I think I need to put some holder for this spike holder or something. But then who knows what it'll do. Maybe it'll grow even longer. So that's Aranthus ramosa, which should bloom at some point, but I don't know when. And the front is my Phalaenopsis Ballina alba that I recently bought from Tropical Gardens. A really nice, healthy plant. It is a large seedling. I think it needs to be bigger, larger to actually bloom. But it's growing. I think it grew me these two new leaves. And there are some roots, although I do have problem with algae, but it's always like that in a tank. There's always algae growing. I don't know if it's bad for roots because the roots are covered with algae too, and I'm not sure how to clean it. But the plant is doing fine, so maybe it's not a big problem. Now moving a bit to the front, you see my little Vanda seedlings. This one here is Vanda Brunea variety Gonjo, one of the seedlings that I left for myself. I kept 2 seedlings from this flask. It's doing good. It's producing some roots and it seems to like this basket. And this one is Vanda foetida that I got from Cloud's Orchids, what, 2 years ago, I think. I think last year, or maybe even 2 years ago. Again, a lot of algae growing on the roots, but they're growing root tips too. The baskets are great, but it would be better if they were hanging, because when it grows down and it reaches the floor or the glass, I think they don't like it and they stop growing. Obviously, because there's nowhere to grow. So I wish I could hang them somewhere, because they are hanging baskets after all. Now moving further, this is this one here, this one here. This is a Dendrobium farmeri that I bought from Tropical Gardens too, which is such a great plant. It grew me 1, 2, 3, 4 new bulbs, and then there's 5th one coming, and then there's one more at the back, little one. Again, it grows in coconut husk chips, and well, I think the pot was too small. The roots are coming out now everywhere, which is good. I'm not gonna change it now because, you know, winter's coming and they have to live like that for this season. I should have taken a bigger pot then, I think, but I didn't know that it will produce so many roots. So that's farmeri, Dendrobium farmeri. And here's hibiki, that's still blooming. It's actually pretty amazing how long the blooms are holding. And it's growing me a new bulb, which is nice and plump. Looks very healthy. Again, lots of roots there in the coconut husk chips. At the back, I have this scabrilingue bulbs that, well, they're pretty sad bulbs. I killed the cakeys that it was producing and new growth. There were 2 new growths that rotted away. So I'm not sure if anything is gonna happen with this bulb. The bulb is still firm and green. Maybe it will produce me something else. Maybe not. I'm just keeping it here, and it doesn't take too much space. So we'll see what will happen. I don't have heart to throw it away yet, because it's still alive, right? So yeah, that's a scabrilingue. Now moving further, there is a row of Phalaenopsis plants, which, that's a Hoya again, getting on the way, so probably take it away for now. So there is a row of Phalaenopsis. This one is German Vincent. This is Phalaenopsis gigantea, which doesn't do anything. I should even bother with this species. It grows 1 leaf, then it loses 1 leaf. grows one leaf, then it loses one leaf. And so it's always two leaves. There's some roots there, so it's not sick or dead or anything. It just doesn't grow well. I don't know why. Now this is another Dendrobium farmeri piece. Actually, there's few bulbs that broke off when I was repotting it. So I didn't throw them away, I just potted them separately, and they produced 1, 2, and there's the third one coming. New growth. Actually, 1, 2, 3, and there's fourth one coming. So there's 4 new growths on this plant. This one is available to share because this is duplicate, right? I have this big one, and there's the second one. And so moving further, there's my Javanica, Phalaenopsis Javanica. I gave her tall pot because her spikes looking down, so it will be easier to see the flowers when they appear. There's one spike and another spike. Both are green and nice, so they should produce new flowers when they activate. And farther in the corner, I have my Phalaenopsis ambinensis that I just got from Kingfisher Orchids recently, and the flowers started to fade, but the spikes are still green. It kept the spikes, so it will produce me more blooms soon, I think. It's adjusting well. Phalaenopsis plants usually like my tank. Now, because it's warm and humid, that's what they like. And in the front, there is my other second jewel orchid that I got from Crystal Star. It's a Desinia crossed with Macodis, if I'm saying it correctly. It started to unfurl this new leaf, which means that it's alive and growing. Now, I'm not sure why these leaves are folding down. Is it supposed to do it or is something wrong? I don't know. But the new leaf is coming out, so it's not dead, for sure. Farther in the corner, I have the Panthers Cross that I got from Resquetzel. This is one of my favorite orchids. The leaves are wonderful, and it's blooming non-stop. And it produced lots of new sprouts that are working on the leaves right now. So it's getting bigger and bigger. I really love it. And I think it likes my tank too. It likes to be in a shady location. So it's in that darkish corner. And it enjoys it, I think. And moving even farther in the corner, there's my Stella's Micrantha, which bloomed. Here, the spike, but I missed the blooming. I didn't make a video. But I already featured this plant in full bloom a while ago, so you can see it blooming if you search my videos. There should be one. And here is another plant that I got from Resquetzel. It's Epidendrum porpax, which doesn't bloom for some reason. And I think it's something to do with temperatures. It probably needs some difference in temperatures between seasons or between day and night. Because I tried to put it into highlight. See the purple leaves? They are purple because I put it on the top shelf. But it didn't bloom there. And now it's in low light and it's not blooming. So I think I probably should try to take it out of tank and give it maybe colder temps. Because here inside it's always warm. There's not much difference. So that's Epidendrum porpax. And now let's hold what is on the way. And now here at the front there are two more Vanda seedlings. This one is Vanda luzonica, which is growing. It's not fastest to grow, but it's progressing. I got it from orchids, and it's still alive, which is good. And this is Vanda pumila, or Trudelia pumila, which again, it's small, but it's alive and growing. It's doing good here. Not all the Vandas like it here. Some of them start to get splotches on the leaves. Like my Vanda tricolor didn't like it here. It started to rot the leaves at the tips. I don't know why. It's probably too humid. But these, the ones that I have here, they're doing good here. So that was bottom part of my tank with Ballina blooming. Now if you're not bored yet, let's look at the top shelves. So on the top shelf here I have some Phalaenopsis in the corner. The large one is Phalaenopsis mokcho U, which already bloomed, and you saw it blooming actually. Recently I put it into bigger container and I tried to squeeze in the most of aerial roots that it had. It had lots of aerial roots, but two are still out. They don't fit, and one of them I broke actually. But there's still lots of roots on it. It still has green spike, which at some point might activate and give me some flowers. Beside it, there is a seedling, which is closing to blooming size. It's Kingfisher Canary Dragon. No, Kingfisher Canary Passion, sorry. That's the one that I grow from flask. It might bloom soon actually. It's doing good. And on the left in the corner, I have Kingfisher Dragon Wing that I recently bought. The spike, I cut off the spike on it because it was old spike and it started to yellow from the top. And well, there is a cinnamon on the crack. The leaf cracked during shipping. But the new leaf is growing, so it's adjusting. It looks nice. Now beside those Phalaenopsis, I have little Vanda flabellata. It's a little cakey that I got from Resketzel. It did rot the old roots, but it started to grow new roots. And the new leaf is growing. So I think it should be okay. Growing new roots and new leaf. Hopefully it will be okay. It's Vanda flabellata cakey. And here we have Dendrobium tabayense seedling. I got it from JNL Orchids, and there was like 3 of these growths. And now it started this bulb, and see how it's thicker at the base. So maybe it's an adult bulb that will produce me flowers, hopefully. I don't know. It's still seedling, but it's getting bigger. So that's Dendrobium tabayense. I keep it in the moss, but I gave it a little bit larger pot now because there's roots in a smaller pot that started to come out from the bottom and the top, so I gave it bigger pot recently. But the moss is already green. Going farther, there is my Angraecum disticum from Resketzel. It never bloomed for me. It grows fine, although slowly, but it doesn't bloom. Not sure why. This is Dendrobium jenkinsii, and it grows in 2 layers actually. There's one layer at the top and it covers the other layer at the bottom. I don't know if that's okay, but it's growing really nicely this season. So I'm gonna give it the winter rest, and I'm hoping to get the blooms because it's pretty strong plant by now. So hopefully we'll see the blooms next year, next spring. Moving to the next one, it's the Cattleya cernua, Safranitis cernua from Rescatzel. I just received it recently. It's growing nice roots, and it grew this pseudobulb, the top one, this one here. So I'm not sure if it's gonna bloom. Cattleyas don't bloom for me, so I'm not sure. I know that it bloomed for Rescatzel, but I'm not sure if it's gonna bloom for me in a tank. It's getting pretty high light. It's very close to the top, to the lights. So we'll see what's gonna happen. But it's healthy, the plant. And beside it, Dendrobium lasiochilum, which is just growing. It bloomed for me once when it was large plant on different mound. This is a piece of that plant on a smaller mound, just growing. And this is Cattleya syncarana. Cattleya syncarana cerulea, which grows fat pseudobulbs. It looks almost like bulbophyllum. And I broke the leaf on this one, which was pretty healthy, but I broke it accidentally. But it doesn't bloom for like many years. Another Cattleya that doesn't bloom for me. Now the Dendrobium lodigesii that I mounted in the spring. It's grown a lot. It's grown lots of roots too, and nice little bulbs. Looks healthy. So it's doing good, I think. And there's another mound there. It's little Angraecum dideri keiki that I received from Rescatzel too. Producing lots of roots now on both sides. So, and it's growing a new leaf. So it's looking good. I think it likes in the tank. I don't know if it's gonna bloom, but I think growing in a tank it likes. And beside it there's a Cattleya alaorii that again doesn't bloom. It's growing me bulbs, and I put it close to the lights, but no blooms so far. Still waiting on it. Not sure why. There's probably a reason, but I don't see any reason why wouldn't it bloom. And beside Cattleya there is Dendrobium senile, which this season is growing me 2 new growths, which is really good. So for the winter, I am going to take it out of the tank and put wherever my jenkinsii will go, and we'll see, maybe it will bloom. I think it's pretty strong with the roots and 2 new growths. So I think it will be okay to try and experience the cold rest. And so moving to the corner, again, there are my Phalaenopsis. This is new Phalaenopsis that I got from Kingfisher's PK Passion, which is still blooming, started new leaf, and under that bloom there's another bud coming out, so it's sequential. So I think this one will bloom for a while, and it smells too. It has nice fragrance. And there is the Tiger Passion and John Thai. Okay, here's the Hoya on the way again. They're adjusting, those Phalaenopsis, they're adjusting to my tank. The Tiger Passion started new leaf just now, the new one. And John Thai is continuing to grow the new leaves, so they're good. And I also have two Vanda seedlings here. It's the second seedling of Vanda brunea that I left for myself, Brunea Gonjo, and a seedling of Vanda insignis. It's growing. They're slow growing. Those little Vanda seedlings are pretty slow, but they're growing. Long time from blooming. And the last orchid here is Cattleya schilleriana, which does nothing. It doesn't bloom. And I think I rotted the roots on it. Actually, so I don't know if it's gonna live or die. It'll probably produce more roots, I think. Because it's warm and humid here, it's not gonna die probably. But I don't think it's gonna bloom anytime soon. So that's Cattleya schilleriana. So that's all that I have on my top shelves. My top shelves have a bit more space, but whatever goes here should be able to withstand high light, which is usually Cattleyas, but they don't bloom for me, so I don't see point of getting them. So there is a space for something that I might get. I just don't know what to get there. That's my tank residence at this moment. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.